things I wanted to talk about is the idea of customer service, because a lot of people seem to overlook it, but especially like with Over a Pint, for example, I get a lot of time with top producers, and one thing you notice when you're dealing with top producers more and more is that one of the things they focus on way more than the majority of agents is the consumer experience throughout the process. What got me thinking about it is actually this great graphic I've seen shared by a few people online. So I'm actually going to put it right here on the screen. So what you can see there is basically one of the big problems with design when people are kind of designing the experience for the consumer, because this matters to your branding. It matters to everything that you do. It encompasses all of it. It can help with lead conversion. It can help with branding. It can help with client retention. Anywhere along the line, it matters. You have to think about it and put yourself in the shoes of the consumers to what they're seeing. So just because something's good for you and works well with your system, you want to think, how does this relate to their experience with your brand? Because they're the one that ultimately matters. So you have to design it. Like a great example of this is Disney. Like they'll actually take executives and make them walk through Disney on their knees so that they can understand how kids are seeing Disney when they walk through. Doing things like that led them to lower the windows so that people could actually see in when they're shorter. Those are the types of insights you can only get by going into the shoes of your consumer. So when you're thinking of bringing in new processes, bringing in new systems, you want to think about, how does this affect the consumer? How does this impact their experience through all this? Because again, just because something is right for you doesn't mean it's right for the consumer. So take a look at everything you're doing, every interaction you have, and how, if you flip it and look at, okay, if I was the consumer looking in on this, what would that experience be like? And would that be indicative of what it would be like working with me? So no matter what part you're looking at, flip every time you interact with anyone and look at it from their point of view and see how it could be done better to improve the experience for them. And I think that exercise can really have a huge impact on your bottom line in the long term. I mean, I know we're going to be doing that. We do a planning session every year. This year, we're literally going to be sitting down and looking at every interaction we have with people anywhere and seeing what we can do to improve it. So if you have any questions, put them down there. Great book to read, 2 of them on this topic. Be Our Guest, it's the Disney book. The other one is Never Lose a Customer Again by Joey Coleman. I would check it out. But I really enjoyed this graphic that I saw recently, and I thought you guys might too. So check it out. Let me know what you think. How much of the customer experience have you actually put thought into? Let us know in the comments about some cool things that you do that actually improves your client's experience. A great example of this would be like the Charlton team out in Milton, Ontario, if you've ever heard of them. So it's the Charlton Advantage team. One thing that I really like that they do, it's really small, but a week before closing, they send them a group of Fragile stickers. Very easy, very cheap, very small, but comes at the exact right time that they need it, and it's incredibly helpful. It's just one of those pieces that has big impact because it's such a small but perfectly timed gesture, because it's just when they need it. So if you have any things like that that you do, put them here. Let us know what other types of videos you want to see, and then subscribe to the channel.